The Xiaomi Mix Fold 2. A full review from hardware to software, the good points, the bad points, and more importantly, how you can get your hands on the Mix Fold 2 for a cheaper rate. Let's go. Now, as mentioned, stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how you can purchase this 3-week-old device in its brand new condition with original box papers for a hefty discount. Stay tuned to the end. Now, there's only one place to start with the Mix Fold 2, and no, it's not the cameras, it's the design, the overall design of this device. For comparison, I have my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which I absolutely love as a candy bar device. This is 11 millimeters, slightly less thick. This Mix Fold 2 is effectively the same thickness as a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra with a case on. But the Mix Fold 2's party piece is that it unfolds to be 5.5 millimeters thick. Yes, 5.5 millimeters thick. Gorilla Glass Victus on the front, a thin glass layer, not the best protection in here, let's be honest, it's still a foldable screen, but it feels like glass, not that disgusting plasticky feel. And while I've got you there, look at the almost creaseless design, which is super hard to achieve in a foldable device, even in 2023. The back is silver colour, which looks stunning, I know. Many comments on this, but it's aluminium, side, back, fairly scratch resistant so far, not a blemish on the screens, the back, anywhere like that. So durability and build quality is A+. In fact, I would go as far as to say this is the best designed smartphone, not just foldable, smartphone I've ever had in my hands. Simple as that. To squeeze everything that they've got in this device to this thin of a form factor is incredible. So shout out to you, Xiaomi, well done. Now, along with the outer screen, which is 6.5 inch 120 Hz, we have the larger 8-inch corner to corner inner screen, 120 Hz, Quad HD, stunning LTPO technology, so adaptive refresh rate on both screens. They look brilliant. I mean, look at the content you can see here. If you're buying a foldable phone, more than likely you're going to use it for media consumption, and this one does not disappoint whatsoever. If you're consuming that media using the native speakers, this is a dual stereo setup through Harman Kardon, and they sound phenomenal. I'll let you hear those. However, like I imagine most people consume content if they're out and about, on transport, or even at home sitting beside someone, you'd rather not be rude, pop some headphones in, Bluetooth 5.2, all headphones from AirPods Pro to Sony XM5s connect seamlessly and they sound epic. Now internally, this is a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip, rocking the Adreno 730 GPU. If you're a gamer, foldable phones should be on your hit list these days. They are no longer the inferior processor or GPU machines that they used to be compared to dedicated ROG gaming phones. I will say the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 onwards, so the 8 Plus Gen 1 and the 8 Gen 2 in the Samsung, is just phenomenal for all tasks. Video editing, photo editing, gaming, audio recording, everything. I mean, you can throw as much as you want at these chips and it's going to manage, and this one is no different. Now, the obvious elephant in the room when it comes to the Xiaomi is it's a Chinese import. There's no way around it. If you're in the UK, if you're watching this in the US or other parts of Europe, to get this device, you have to import it. Now, I've made a dedicated video on importing a Chinese phone, the companies to use that you can trust, general shipping times, import fees and taxes. I've done all that. You can catch that on my channel. If I remember, I'll put the link up here. Essentially, there are 4 main companies I use: Wanda Mobile, Gizstop, Blue Iode, and Trading Shenzhen. They all work seamlessly, super easy to import the device, and at good rates comparatively. When you think the Samsung Z Fold 4 is £1,650 for the 256GB version, that same 256GB version for the Xiaomi Mix Fold 2, which is a far superior device, is £300 cheaper, including import fees. I got this for £1,344, so about $1,600, including all fees and taxes, shipped straight to my door. Brand new, box, papers, unopened box as well. The reason I say that, you're thinking, of course it's an unopened box, it's brand new. Well, no, Gizstop and Wanda, typically they'll open the device and install the Google Play Store. Blue Iode and Trading Shenzhen typically don't, but fear not, again, that importing a Chinese device talks through it. Super easy. You search on the native Xiaomi App Store for the Google Play Store, install it, and there you have access to the full Google Play Store. So, continuing with the software, it's 8 Plus Gen 1 Snapdragon, it's MIUI 14 skin on top, it's a Chinese ROM, but with full Google Play Store apps. No nuances, there is no difference between the Play Store on a Samsung and the Play Store on the Xiaomi. All apps will work. I use 4 banking apps, 4 UK banking apps. I use every streaming service you can imagine. I use WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, all those things, they work. You don't have to sideload anything, so please don't have any fears about that. The phone just works. And while playing with all those apps, why not go ahead and multitask using that 8-inch screen? Why not have 2 apps split vertically? Watch 2 things at the same time if you like. Why not have a couple of floating windows in there as well? Does that sound interesting to you? Well, that's what the Xiaomi Mix Fold 2 can do. Now, I'll be the first to admit, it's not all sunshine and rainbows here. The reason this isn't the best foldable phone ever, and that crown still sits with the Vivo X Fold, is due to 2 quite important things for a lot of people. Hands up here, not to me, but to some people these are deal breakers. The first one is wireless charging. There is none. There is no wireless charging on this device. As I mentioned, it's an aluminium back. You ain't wirelessly charging through that, so it ain't doing it. Reasons: it adds weight and cost. In order to keep the weight down and the thickness and the price to a reasonable, they've not added wireless charging, and they've not added an IP68 water and dust resistance rating. In fact, there's no official IP rating on this. To be honest, with any foldable phone, I know the Z Fold 4 has an IP rating now, but you really want to go swimming with your foldable phone? You really want to go to the beach with your foldable phone, getting all that sand in the crease, especially with the Samsung. I mean, this folds extremely flat. I mean, it's completely flat actually. There's no gap. You can't put a piece of paper through it. The Samsung you can. So if you can get paper through it, you can certainly get sand, grit, dirt, all that stuff. So yeah, don't go near a beach or water with your foldable phone. I mentioned weight there. 260-ish, 264 grams for the Xiaomi Mix Fold 2. The Vivo is 50 grams plus heavier than that. The Vivo is 3 millimeters thicker than this. So as much as the Vivo is still my favorite foldable phone, this is, as I mentioned, the best design one. Now the reason the Vivo is thicker is because it's adding all those things that I said this doesn't: wireless charging and IP rating. But it's also adding the key factor, and I want to talk about this quite quickly: cameras. The modern smartphone nowadays, when you're buying a flagship, which this certainly is, has great cameras. You've got the latest and greatest Sony sensors in most of them. You've got the latest and greatest OIS or EIS stabilization. They bring in a lot of light, the sensors, and that is true. Absolutely true of this main 50 megapixel and 50 megapixel ultra wide. The 2x telephoto is a great 12 megapixel lens, produces great portrait photos, but there's one key omission that I look for in a flagship phone these days. Now, the Samsung is the king of this. They've got a 3x optical and a 10x optical zoom lens on this device. The Xiaomi doesn't. This is stuck at the 2x portrait lens with no optical zoom. No 3x, 5x, 10x, nothing. So you are limited in the camera technology. The other way you're limited is with the front-facing camera. It's 1080p. Why are we not at 4K across the board for all cameras on a smartphone, costing well over £1,000? And the other downside for the Xiaomi, and I hate to call you out on this, there is no camera on the inside. So you are not taking video calls with the inner screen because nobody would see you. There's no camera, no underscreen, no hole punch, nothing. You are limited to front-facing and rear-facing cameras, nothing on the inside. This is the first foldable phone that I've owned that doesn't have an inside camera, and I didn't think I'd miss it as much. And I'm not saying I necessarily do, it's not a deal breaker. I've got numerous other devices I can make video calls on. But for a convenience factor, the fact that I use the Xiaomi for Outlook and Teams, split screen multitasking, and if somebody calls me, I have to shut my phone to take the video call. Yeah, it could be a better experience. And I get why they've not added it. It's going to add thickness. If you have cameras on here, and then you try and add here, that's obviously going to add to the thickness. And again, just look how thin that is. Xiaomi are clearly going for design here, and they nailed it. Now, for some of you, the part of the video you've been waiting for, context-wise, every Chinese ROM phone I buy from those 4 trusted partners, I sell on to you. I take a hit, but it's worth it. Reason being is, Chinese foldable phones, and for now they are just Chinese because they rarely come to the global market, are my passion. I love them. They're great from the setup to using them. I love a large device, but there's constantly new ones coming out. Like very soon we'll be buying the Vivo X Fold 2. So this has to go. And it has to go to someone that will actually appreciate the device. So I don't sell them on Gumtree, I sell them right here on my YouTube channel to the loyal foldable phone army. Now typically it's been the Vivos I've had a couple I've sold on here. I have sold a Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra on here. It's now time for the Mix Fold 2. Now again, full honesty, as you always get from me, this was £1,342 including all import fees. But I've used it for 3 weeks now. Not outside too much. There's no scratches, there's nothing on. I've still got a screen protector on front. But I still want to take some money off. Well, a lot of money off actually. I'm going to take 20% off to be precise. So that leaves it at about £1,100. For ease, if you're in the States, or in Europe, 1,100 euros or dollars. That's the figure. £1,100, euros or dollars. Comment down below if you're interested, or send me a DM on Instagram. Here's my handle and we'll get it done. I accept PayPal or bank transfer. Before you ask, I am not sending the device before I get the money. Again, it's my viewers, I completely trust you, I've never been stung, but I'm not going to send a device without payment first. So you just have to trust that I will send you it, but I think by now you can trust me. Well, I hope you can. Anyway, enough about selling the phone and making money. Not that I'm making money, I'm making a loss. But again, I want to pass on this incredible foldable phone experience to one of you at a discounted rate. If you were on the fence about buying one, maybe the $15, $60, $100 including taxes is a bit too much, but for $500 less, maybe that swayed you. Again, message me on Instagram or comment down below. So to kind of sum up my experience with the Xiaomi, it's great. I mean, it's hard for me to be kind of subjective when it comes to these because I've had so many imported phones that I just know how to do things. That's why I've made a how-to video. But everything works seamlessly with the Play Store. The phone itself feels amazing. Again, it is ultimately the same sort of thickness, size and weight of the Samsung S23 Ultra, but a bit narrower, so actually easier to use one-handed. Software wise, Android works just like Android. MIUI 14 works just like MIUI 14 that you can get on the new Xiaomi 13 Pro that I believe is available on Amazon soon. So yeah, no issues on that front. It's an expensive device. For the price, I would have liked a periscope zoom lens. I would have liked an inside camera. I'm not fussed about wireless charging. If I didn't mention already, 67 watt charger included in the box with a long USB-C cable, and it will charge the phone from dead to full in about 45 minutes approximately. That's okay, I can do that. And a heavy day's usage using the outer and inner display, you still won't kill the battery in one day. You'll be left with about 10 to 20% at the end of the day, which again is perfect for me. I'm used to charging my phones every day other than my iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Samsung S23 Ultra. Full review on this one coming too, so if you haven't already and you're somehow still watching to this point, subscribe to the channel for more content, like the video, comment down below if there's something you want to know about either of these phones or anything I've reviewed, and if you're interested in buying it. Until next time, take care and